So the Dearica Hamby situation with the Las Vegas Aces is something that I don't know if it's ever going to, what's going to happen. And it's not stopping anytime soon. It's not stopping at all. And we've seen right here, back in September, that the WNBA and the Aces filed motions to dismiss the lawsuit. Yeah, I don't think that's happening. I think it's going ahead, which will be an interesting one, considering like some of the things I have read about it. But if you guys don't know what the general gist of this was, the general gist is that Dearica Hamby was a player for the Aces. She signed a contract with the Aces that had other like things that were benefits, like they were paying for the kids' education, they were paying for her apartment, they were doing all this other stuff as well as their contract. And the WNBA has laws basically saying you can't fire a player or you can't like just trade a player specifically because they got pregnant. And as soon as Dearica Hamby got pregnant, she was going to be back for the season. She didn't miss any game time, and the Aces felt like they had to trade her because she was pregnant, so they traded her to the Sparks. And before they had traded her officially, they stopped paying for the kids' education. I'm not entirely sure, but something along those lines happened. But they stopped paying for her apartment, something like that. Not 100% sure on that part, but they did trade her. And Becky Hammon, supposed quotes from Becky Hammon, basically confirms that yes, she was traded because she was pregnant, which obviously is against the rules of the WNBA. So, the WNBA wanted to dismiss the case, and so did the Aces. From the WNBA's perspective, the WNBA do make it clear that players are not employees of the WNBA, they are employees of their individual teams. So I don't know what the WNBA exactly has, like why they're suing the WNBA, because the WNBA did punish them for this. They lost a first round pick and their coach got suspended. But it says here, an early neutral evaluation was held yesterday. No settlement was reached. It will continue on the litigation track. So basically, obviously, they had a meeting trying to settle this. Didn't happen. All parties involved, Hamby, Ace, and WNBA, all agreed to discovery deadlines and obligations with the exception of initial disclosures pursuant to the Financial Rules Civil Procedure be stayed until 11th of February, which is 14 days following the parties' participation in ENE conference scheduled for 28th January. The parties further agreed that if the matter does not resolve the ENE conference, they should revisit the issue of a stay of discovery pending the resolution of defendants pending motions to dismiss and plaintiffs pending counter motion to leave a file for the first amended complaint following the conclusion of the ENE, but in any event no later than the 11th of February. WNBA expressly does not waive all rights to file a motion to stay discovery if this matter does not resolve the ENE, and if parties are unable to agree to a further stay of discovery pending resolution. So yeah, I'm not very good at, the whole law thing. Let's read some of the comments. A summary, the case proceeding. It has been proceeding. This just see if an agreement could be released before it could go to court. WNBA and ACE filed motions to dismiss it. Hamby has asked the court to let her amend the documents. So basically, the defendant requested dismissal. The plaintiff was looking for a settlement. The plaintiffs have said, I'll see you in court. WNBA filed for dismissal before all this. Hamby had submitted to amend before this. None of their motions have been reviewed by a judge yet. So it's still going. It's still going. Like, genuinely, like, that's all I can say. So it's not like, look, it's a situation where I have no idea who's in the right and who's in the wrong. It seems like at least morally the Aces are in the wrong, but I have no idea legally what they have done. And like, it's something that's going to drag on potentially into this WNBA season. And I would say, hopefully, it doesn't affect Hamby, but like, this is going on all last season. Hamby was unbelievable. Hamby had the best season of her WNBA career. Like, she absolutely killed it last year. Like, last season, she averaged 17 and 9, which is mad because, like, the season before, she averaged what? She averaged 8.9 points per game. She averaged 8.9 points per game in 2023 and averaged 17.3 points per game in 2024, which is insane. But and was an all-star. She got in via fan vote and stuff. But like, yeah, it's gonna be an interesting old situation. And it'll be an interesting situation, and I do think that it's gonna drag and it's gonna affect the Aces season again. I think that I think it's just gonna be a pain for the Aces. And we saw this season. I don't think this lawsuit really affected him this season, but like we're gonna see stuff again. Like you can guarantee that when she sets foot in Las Vegas, she is going to be booed. They're gonna boo Dearica Hamby every single time she touches the ball, just like last year, and it's just an all around shit situation. For Hamby, it's a bad situation for her. It's a bad situation her being shipped off because she got pregnant. Like the fact that there's already been a fine, or there's already been like a pick taken away, and there's already been a suspension for Becky Hammon means 100% the Aces did something wrong. But it's just whether or not it was legally wrong or just morally wrong. Morally wrong, you can get a suspension, you can get a fine from the league, but it's very different when it goes to a lawsuit and it becomes a legal situation. And I'm not quite sure of that. And we will see over the next couple of months how this lawsuit progresses. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Obviously we saw the last thing we heard about this was the WNBA and the Aces fighting to dismiss it. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, that it's going to be completely dismissed. It's looking like it's probably going to go to court, or something's going to happen. It's looking like something's going to happen. I don't know, maybe necessarily if it goes all the way to court, but it's not just going to be completely dismissed like the WNBA and the Aces were hoping for initially. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I really don't know like what's gonna happen. I really don't know what's gonna happen here. Like I'm not a judge. I also don't even I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly what was going on in the situation. But I think it's safe to say that it wasn't the greatest look ever for the Aces. And if it turns out that Hamby's making all this stuff up, which is unlikely, it's not going to be a great look for Hamby either. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.